My presentation today is about Emir of Kano, Muhammad Sanusi II, basically known as Sanusi Lani to Sanusi. I will start with his biography. He was born in Kano City, northern Nigeria, in 1961. He was from royal family of Kano City. And his grandfather was also Emir of Kano and was a great scholar, and he always showed that he wanted to copy from his grandfather. So he started learning since he was a child. He was favored by grandfather also, so he started learning from primary school, Quranic school, as we see here. He attended Quranic school. We have traditional Quranic school. We call it Makarata, and that is where students learn from the scholars since they were a child. Then he attended King College in Lagos and bachelor degree and master's degree in economics at Ahmadu Bello University in Zaria city. And he started teaching in the University of Ahmadu Bello. He taught about 3 years and left in 1985 to start banking career. So, but within his banking career, he went to Sudan and obtained a degree in Islamic law and fiqh in 1997 in the African International University in Khartoum, Sudan. After leaving Ahmadu Bello University in 1985, he launched a distinguished banking career and worked in different firms and banks till 2009. In June 2009, Nigerian President Umar Musa Yar'Adua appointed him as Central Bank of Nigeria, governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, and he later sacked after Umar Musa Yar'Adua died and his vice president Goodluck became a president. He continued with Sanusi, but later he was sacked after he began drawing attention to the grievous shortfall in Nigerian oil revenues. He also said that almost $20 billion was not remitted into Nigerian federal account. So Goodluck Jonathan, he sacked him because of this attitude. Emir Sanusi, he's the one who introduced Islamic banking system in Nigeria. This was brought up, of course, controversial in Nigeria between Muslims and Christians. They are saying that he is trying to Islamize Nigeria and so on. But he insists, and even he was invited to the Federal National Assembly and explained them what is the Islamic system. So he was the one who introduced him. Later, after he was sacked by this, of course, this picture is from interview with Sanusi in BBC famous program Hard Talk when he was in it. So later he was appointed after his uncle died in 2014, and in 1 year after he was sacked from the governorship of the Federal Central Bank of Nigeria, he was appointed as Emir of Kano. What the meaning of Emir of Kano? The Emirship of Kano is, we can say it is the most influenced position, traditional position and religious position in Nigeria. Though Sokoto is a post and it's the leader of all emirs in northern Nigeria, but somehow Kano, by its strong commercial and strong educational background, now it is taken over from Sokoto. So we can say even now that Sanusi is the most influenced traditional leader in northern Nigeria. So he was the 14th emir of Fulani dynasty who had their jihad in 1804, but in the old emirship of Kano, he was 55. This is just that for demonstration how he used to stay in traditional court. People came to traditional court sitting, people come in with their issues, he tried to solve. This is a tradition, this is how the emir palaces. Traditional or religious affiliation of Sanusi. Sanusi is Sunni, as we know that most of Nigerian Muslims Sunnis from Maliki, and he was following Tijaniya order. So you can see here, this is annual zikr the Emir of Kano used to organize in there. And this is daily. He used to recite Tijaniya word daily after Asr prayer inside the Emir Palace. So, Sanusi has received different awards. Among them, Central Bank of Nigeria of the Year for Sub-Saharan Africa by Emerging Market Magazine, Central Bank Governor of Africa 2013 by African Banker Magazine, African Central Bank Governor of the Year 2011 by Banker Magazine, Global Central Bank Governor of the Year 2000 by Financial. He was appointed by Financial Times of London. His Highness was also made Man of the Year by various magazines in newspaper in 2010, 11, and 13. He was awarded the National Honor of the Commander of the Order of the Nature, that is CON, by the President of Nigeria. Also on Thursday, 9th May 2019, means this year, United Nations appointed His Highness Emir of Sanusi alongside 16 other people from all over the world as members of the new class of Sustainable Development Goals advocates. Indeed. So he is very active in the United Nations in different. He used to go to different European countries, deliver lecture about different issues, more especially about economics. Articles and publications. Sanusi has read many articles and published it. I didn't know he is a complete book, but he has different articles in different issues. For example, the West and the Rest, the revelation of the intercultural dialogue about Sharia, as democracy, right and Islam, theory, epistemology, and quest for synthesis, Muslim community in multi-religious millions, some of revelation of the Medinan constitutions, Shariancy in Nigeria, the intellectual root of Islamic discourse, politics and Sharia in northern Nigeria, the Sharia debates, all those, almost all of them. But in the number 10, we saw an introduction to Islamic insurance, takaful. When he introduced Islamic banking system, he tried to emphasize, though before he wrote about this before, but he emphasized this on some of his ideas here. So now is the influence of Western thinkers on Sanusi. Sanusi, according to what I read from his articles, he read a lot of papers, a lot of works of great philosophers across the history, Plato, Aristotle. He used to quoted from their works and in his writings. So, of course, this he used to criticize or appraise or even accept their ideas, as we can see later. Sanusi also presents himself as a reformer, social reformer. So he is different because he tried to shape up long-held views in practice on marriage, like his polygamy, because polygamy in northern Nigeria is very something is normal. Everyone is doing it without any. So Sanusi somehow he is against polygamy, but in the basis of istita, that can you did it, or just it cause your family disruption and something like that. So he tried to, though he has 4 wives, but 4 wives, yes, yeah, but he against.
He said that he didn't agree with polygamy, but he did.
Yes, but therefore I said on the basis of because in the court I showed you before, he used to receive complaints. So I know the issue that erupted about this polygamy, though before he has this views. But recently in these years, something happened. One of the women came to his court and tell him that her husband left her and married another, and he didn't give them, her and her children, anything. So he called the husband and asked him, what is your profession? He said, Josie is Sushina. So you are Sushina, but you married second wife with 10 children, and you left them without education, something like this. So Sanusi is very angry by this time, so he tried to introduce a law in Nigeria that prevent people from marrying more than one wife if you don't have enough money. So this was become very debate between him and local ulama, traditional ulama of course. And even if they held a debate between him in our university, that is Bayero University in Kano. He held debate between ulama and him. Open, that is open debate. And later they come to agreement that they are going to, like we see in this later 600-700 page document were presented to codify all aspects of family law and propose a punishment for domestic violence, early marriage, and so on. Different issues. He talked about want to present in Northern Nigeria. I think this document now is in front of the Kano State House of Assembly for discussion and implementation. And still, many people against this document in Nigeria, because Nigerian community is something like different from other worlds. They are living in the time of, like, we can say, I cannot say the time of the Prophet, the olden days where the life is normal, no anything like westernization and something like that. So also Sanusi, people are regarding Sanusi as he was westernized because of his views. He even mentioned by himself that someone in Sudan call him, "You are the second Salman Rushdie." Because why? Sanusi is saying, my crime was that I compared the word of God to some document written by infidels in America 2 centuries ago. Sanusi added in his paper Jihad, Revolutionary Islam and Nigerian Democracy. Because he said he found several freedoms erased in American Constitution were exactly what we find in the Quran. So by saying that, someone said you are. So you can see how, yeah. And so many modern thinkers, Sanusi is trying to come with consensus between Islamic position and Western positions. For example, he said that there are 3 categories of views now. That is one of total discourse of contemporary Islam. He is given consideration to the northern Nigeria. Then the second one, opposition voice against this total contemporary discourse, Islamic discourse, and the Western, the third category of people, that is Western educated Muslims who are knowledge from the Westerns. So we can see some reflect of Kant's idea on Sanusi discussion. For example, Sanusi, in one of the Nigerian writers, write a piece of article in This Day newspaper in 2003. Sanusi made a comment and was printed on another newspaper. He said, this is a comment by MJO Mustafa article on predestination, that is Al-Qadar, in This Day, Friday, June 2003. I am not too familiar with, he says Sanusi, he's not familiar with Iqbal's work on the matter, which formed the basis of the writer, this is Mustafa. But it raises fundamental political question in that it complicated rather than resolving the problem in this predestination issue. This, of course, is not Iqbal's thought. One's reason, this is a quotation, is taken from the, one's reason is taken as the basis of establishing the truth of metaphysical postulates. As we know from Kant, it is antinomies or self-contradiction in much. So in his introduction, we see how he started with idea of Kant in order to prove his ideas. So this is type of some influence of Kant on Sanusi. Though Sanusi in this article tried to question the legitimacy of any claim establishing the truth of this position based on the principles of modern Western philosophy, for example, empiricism or rationalism only, to apply it in Islam, metaphysics issues. But he also used the Western philosophy to prove his argument. He is saying to analyze Islamic metaphysics from the standpoint of philosophy, that is the end of the paper. We can see how it's in the paper. From the standpoint of philosophy of space and time, is to try and ground a non-material reality on an implicit epistemology. After Kant's Copernican revolution, all such attempts are doomed to failure. Herein lies the weakness in Iqbal theory. He is saying that is he tried to weaken the Iqbal theory using Kant of Buddhism. Because Iqbal begins from the premises that God transcends time and it's not limited by space. He said Allah is beyond time. Allah is beyond time. There are no time can because it's a Khalik. So something like this. Though he tried to glorify Allah, but Sanusi, as we mentioned from the earlier, he said this theory tried to come with some complicated idea rather than solving it. So he said he's from the inspired scientific we cannot therefore by pure reason alone know that through a priori categories that, for example, he exists or exists necessarily in modality, or that he is not quantity or real quality or is comes. So all this at least from Kant critics, how could Iqbal hope to resolve an Islamic theological argument in the realm of metaphysics by taking up the very philosophy that deal metaphysics is telling block? We cannot prove an argument based on reason alone. Is no basis for discarding it from or presuming it to be untrue. But we should at all times understand the basis of acceptance. I do not criticize Iqbal's reconstruction of Muslim thought or his preference for the belief in Qadar or free will. I question the legitimacy of any claims establishing the truth of the position based on principle of modern Western philosophy, such as claims is bogus. So lastly, he said, at least we learned that this at least what we learned from Kant. So we can see that he said he proved that we learned something from Kant's ideas. And so this is almost about right and liberty in Muslim world. Sanusi talk about, for example, some argument between Muslims and Western philosophy. He tried to criticize Western philosophy and human rights in the Muslim world. For example, show the weakness of he tried to show the weakness of definition given by some Western philosophers like Hobbes. I quoted this. This is his. I didn't have to read it, but at the end of the slide, Hobbes and Hobbes reading about. He's saying that of negative liberty. It is like Western presenting negative liberty to Muslim country in his Sanusi. What I will show is that the confusion in liberal thought today rests on a fundamentally flawed assumption associated with Hobbes that liberty of the individual is attainable irrespective of the structure of the political. This assumption, as Quentin Skinner has shown, is a radical. So, why is battery slow? This is without battery. It is dry. Maybe it is going to. I don't know. No, it's. She's saying our battery is slow.
But
Battery is slow.
it's working.
Okay?
Yeah. Yeah, let us see.
No problem. Liberty in Western political thought, at least in the contemporary English-speaking West, is defined in negative terms. That is his view, that is defined in the terms of absence of something. So these are also some of the Sanusi and view of Western influence. Sanusi agrees that there is Western impact on Muslim thought. He advised Muslim thinkers in the following statement. Muslim critics need first to be more critical of their own views and recognize the influence of Western rationalist pre-assumption and their interpretation of the Muslim worldview. So, this is his phrase. Secondly, they need to apply the distinction in post-structuralist thought between those who consciously manipulated religion for ideological ends and those who genuinely believes they are implementing God's law and seek the material reward for their effort. So this is second. So by the above statement, we can come to the conclusion that Sanusi belongs to the Muslim thinkers that agrees with influence of Western philosophy on Muslim world, and he advised Muslims to accept it wisely. Maybe based on the idea of what is his name? Iqbal? No. This idea that Josti read about taking good and and maintaining goods, maintaining all goods,
Yes.
and accepting new better, something like this. Yeah. So I made some quotations. I think the time is going, but this is some quotation from his paper, from different Western scholars, from his. Maybe I don't have to read it all. For example, the last one, Berlin insight is that we must reject positive concept of liberty. So this is about liberty. Those that seek to create truly free man by coercing him into freedom. Liberty must be defined in negative terms. At the same time, as it is well known, he recognized the necessary operations of inherent tension and inconsistencies among the popularity of goods. So this some quotation from his. When he tried to prove his idea, he can quote from the different Western scholars to prove his ideas. This also another quotations from some Western philosophers, maybe from Gibbs, one from and such, and so on. So this also this from his newspapers. Lastly, Sharia reforms and secularism. Sanusi also talk about Sharia and secularism in northern Nigeria. He talked, for example, we can see that this is another phenomenon of influence of his Western thinkers on him. Maybe he talk about separation between religion and the state. Though Sanusi in his paper, I understand that he didn't believe that the Islamic State cannot be fully become reality, as he's saying that even since the time of the Prophet ﷺ, there are no any full Islamic states. Even he's saying that it is like something that we can imagine, because we can imagine, but it cannot be real. But he talked about implementing Sharia to the same extent, and he talked about we can, even though we become with plurality of community, society, plurality of society. It's a paper on how Muslim can become under one state with non-Muslim people. So that is almost what I can say about his views and the influence of Western philosophers on his philosophy. Sanusi, as I showed his picture from the first, because when you become Emir of Kano, you cannot go out without cap or something like that. Oh no! Before, when he was a governor, I show his when he meeting with BBC, you see without cap, something like this. But now, even when he went to the Western, like European countries, he has to dress like that. And this was Salah festival situation. I think I can stay here for. That's the end of what I can present here. Inshallah. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh.
Thank you. Any question from
Well, at the core,
What?
at the core, the rest, at the core, the picture.
Yeah.
color of the